talks of weeks. In 1990, and this is mainly for you young people, I walked from Nepal to the Everest base camp. That was, I think, a little over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And what I saw was an enslaved people. To go from Nepal to the Everest base camp is to walk through Tibet. And I want to say this morning again, because I've mentioned this before, but to the younger generation. Because what we're talking about here is something that I actually witnessed. The horrible treatment by the Chinese people of the Tibetans. Not only do they take over their country, they take over the lands, enslave the Tibetans. And it was something that has never left me. The passion that I have, as most of you know, I've met with His Holiness the Dalai Lama many times. The passion that I have has never stopped, because things of that nature must never allow to occur. Because humanity is the only value in life. And when you don't treat life properly, then you have to stand up and you have to yell and scream, let the world know that these things are happening. And this is why I've been here basically all of my life. And I will continue to do this as long as I'm invited, as long as you want me, for the rest of my life. Ladies and gentlemen, what the Chinese are doing is called inhumane. And yes,
Dạ vâng, kính mời quý vị theo dõi cái cuộc biểu tình ở tại Toronto, Canada trước tòa đại sứ của Trung Cộng. Cuộc biểu tình này gồm có tất cả các quốc gia như là Đài Loan, Hồng Kông, Tây Tạng và một số những quốc gia Á Châu, trong đó có Việt Nam. Xin mời quý vị theo dõi.
To remind the world that China is still doing the same damn things that they've been doing since I witnessed them personally. I smelled them, I felt them, I cried in those days in 1990. So I applaud you for coming back, particularly the young people. And the reason why I went through this little spiel this morning is mainly for the young people, because what was happening then is still happening now. And ladies and gentlemen, I am not speaking from reading the paper, I witnessed it. So therefore, it is an honor to be here. I will continue to be here in support of your cause as long as I'm alive. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Senator. We will always welcome you here, and we want you to come back, and we want more friends to come back. We want more allies. And next, we will chant some slogan and make people behind us and make people in China hear us. Okay. And we want Canada to know, Canada, stand up to China. Free Tibet, China out. Free Uyghur, China out. Free Hong Kong, China out. Shame, shame, CCP. Stop genocide in Tibet. Stop genocide in Uyghurs. Release the political prisoners now. China, hands off Taiwan. Condemn hostage diplomacy. Stop political oppression. Stop taking our DNA. Stop residential school in Tibet and Uyghur. Human rights in China now. Democracy in China. Canada, stand up to China. Free Tibet. China out. Free Tibet. China out. Free Tibet. China out. Thank you, everyone. Next one, we will have the speaker from the Assembly of Citizens, the Chief Director, Wester Yang.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, please remind me how many years this thing behind us has existed. 74, right? 74 years already, ladies and gentlemen. Shame. What a shame. Shame to all of us. Shame to all peace, order, and good government around the world. We have let this hideous thing, this horrible human rights violated thing, exist for 74 years. What a shame. Shame to all the nice and good people around the world who are urging for freedom. That we have tolerated this tyranny from existing for 74 years. What a shame. Since the White Paper Revolution during the last year, I have personally visited US, Japan, various cities in Canada, including Calgary, Vancouver, or Montreal. And I'm so glad that I recognize that there's more and more young mainland Chinese has stand up forward to against this regime.
Hà nói quay thấy hình mà ông nghe tiếng anh trai Soli ngồi xong hào không nghe âm thanh.
Consequences, but unanimously, we share same thoughts, we share same struggle.
Nghe trên Hoàng Hà được không?
Thank you, Sunny. Our next speaker is from the Uyghur community. And before he starts his speech, I want to share two stories with you. And those are two stories about two prestigious Uyghur scholars who are sentenced to life in China. The first one, which is most recent, her name is Rafila Dawuti. She was a scholar in Uyghur folklores. And then for no political reason, she was just recently sentenced to life. Another story is, well, this is earlier, but that is Ilihan Topti. She was also a scholar who tried to peacefully promote dialogues between Uyghurs and Chinese. And 9 years ago, she was sentenced to life. And how many more Uyghurs will they sentence? How many scholars and people who peacefully promote dialogues will they sentence? Let's welcome our next speaker, Shakit from Canadian East Turkestan Association. And first we will play the East Turkestan National Anthem.
Thấy em Vĩnh ra chưa? Thấy em Vĩnh ra chưa?
first of all, thank you, Ms. Jihan. Mentioned it right ago. Life sentence. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, thank you for gathering here today in front of the Chinese consulate in Toronto. This stand united, representing the voice of East Turkestan, Tibet, Hong Kong, Taiwan, pro-democracy ethnic Chinese, and Southern Mongolia. As we raise our voices against the Chinese occupation of our homelands and the atrocities being committed there. It's with heavy hearts that we come together today on October 1st to remind the world of the ongoing Uyghur genocide. A stain on humanity's consensus that continues unabated. The world needs to know that concentration camps have not been closed. Innocent Uyghur men, women, and the children continue to suffer within their confines. Families are being torn apart as children are forcibly removed from their loving homes, leaving a trail of anguish and despair. The horrors we face extend beyond the Uyghur people. Forced labor is rampant, exploiting the labor of innocent people who should be enjoying their freedom. Forced sterilization and organ harvesting are crimes against humanity, a dark chapter in our history that cannot be ignored. But we gather here today not just to shine a light on these atrocities, but to demand action from the international community. Canada is a beacon of human rights and justice, must stand firmly against this injustice. We call upon our government to take a strong stance against the Chinese regime, to hold them accountable for their action and to provide a safe haven for those fleeing persecution. Our message to the world is simple yet profound. We will not be silenced. We will not allow the horrors being committed in our homelands to go unnoticed or unpunished. We will stand together as one voice and demand justice for all those who suffer under the oppressive rule of the Chinese government. As we gather here today, we are joined by countless individuals who share our cause, who believe in justice, and who believe in the power of the collective voice. It's through unity and perseverance that we will bring about change. In closing, I ask each and every one of you to continue spreading awareness about the atrocities in East Turkestan, Tibet, Hong Kong, Taiwan, pro-democracy, ethnic Chinese, and Southern Mongolia. Share our stories, engage with your elected representatives, and demand action. Let this protest today serve as a symbol of our unwavering commitment to justice, human rights, and freedom. Together, we will be the catalyst for change, and together we will see a world where no one suffers under the weight of oppression. Thank you for showing up today.
Thank you, Chef Kid. Now let's chant the slogan, make them hear us. Free Uyghur, China out! Stop genocide in Uyghurs! Stop residential schools in Tibet and Uyghur! Canada, stand up to China! Free Tibet, China out!
Free Hong Kong, China out. Shame, shame, CCP. Stop genocide in Tibet. Release the political prisoners now. China, hands off Taiwan. Condemn hostage diplomacy. Stop political oppression. Stop taking our DNA. Human rights in China now. Democracy in China. Our next speaker will from Federation for Democracy, Democratic China, Jiaji Jiang Jiaji.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Jiaji from Federation for Democratic China. I know probably many people who are not in the street right now asking us wonder why we are here today. Because today is a very important day for all of us from that land. Well, why? Because 74 years ago, in 1949, October 1st, the evilest regime in the world born, the so-called People's Republic of China. They call themselves the New China. And since the moment Mao Zedong on the Tiananmen Square said the New China formed today, they start killing the Muslims, the Christianities, and all other religious people in China. And then they went to the Tibetan land. They went to the Eastern Turkestan's land. They took, and recently,
from the day that evil regime born, they didn't stop killing till today. That's why we are here today. And thanks everyone for being here today. Thank you. Sorry, next part I have to say in Chinese, just for like 2 minutes. 在去年的10月1日国殇日，在去年的10月1日国殇日13天之后，在北京的世通桥上，有一位叫彭立发的勇士，他举起了这个 slogan， 叫不要核酸要吃饭，不要文革要改革，不要风控要自由，不要领袖要显现，不要谎言要尊严，不要奴才，不做奴才做公民。而到今天，彭立发先生自10月13日世通桥事件以后，已经失踪快1年了。而再过13天就是他的1周年失踪日。我现在呼吁，请全世界所有还有良知的中国人站出来，为这位以冒着最大的风险站出来停止中共风控清零政策的勇士发声。谢谢。
Thank you, Desi, for your touching speech. And our next speaker will be from the Tibetan community. And there are 2 more stories I will share here with you. And people have pictures that's really great. So the first one, it's a story that we have all heard about. The 10th Panchen Lama. He was only 6 years old when the Chinese government took his entire family away in 1995. And he was considered as the youngest political prisoner in the world. And even nowadays, his whereabouts still remains unknown. Another story I want to share, which people have pictures on the other side of the street. He was a very popular Tibetan singer, even in China. His name was Taiwan Nuobu. He was only 25 years old when he committed self-immolation in front of the Potala Palace in Lhasa, Tibet. Many of us here, we are younger than 25. And to someone who is so well-known and so popular in China, he chose to sacrifice himself, his life, for freedom, for independence of Tibet. He is someone that I really look up to myself. And we are here to remind the CCP that these are the crimes they have committed, and we will never forget. No matter it's Taiwan Nuobu or the rest more than 160 Tibetans who use their own bodies and their lives to demand freedom and independence for Tibet. Next, we are going to welcome Sunny, and first we will be playing the Tibetan national anthem.
On behalf of RTYC, the Gamchikanto Khmer Language Tibetan Women Association and SFT, our speaker will be Canadian Tibetan Association President Sonam La. And before that, we're going to play our national anthem.
Megalo, Tashi Dele. I, on behalf of 5 major organizations within Tibetan community, would like to thank all the speakers, especially our own former Senator Consiglo Dinino. And I'm so honored to see former senator here today with us. And he has been supporting us for the last 30 years. And as he commit today, he would like to support all of us all his life. So, yes, so Senator, thank you so much. And we always seek your guidance and support from you. We Tibetans gather here today on 3 different reasons. Number 1, as China celebrates its National Day of Republic of China. So we are here to oppose that. And like all the speakers who spoke earlier, we share the same sentiments, such as colonial school, residential school in Tibet, in Uyghur, human rights, political prisoners, all this happening, same thing among us. So we are here to oppose us. Secondly, today we have a meet and greet of 6 volunteers who will start their peace rally marathon for Tibet from tomorrow onwards. And they have a 3 So the peace rally marathon for Tibet has 3 demands. Protect Tibetan children from forced Chinese residential school system. Call for the immediate and unconditional release of 11th Panchen Lama and other Tibetan political prisoners. Support to the resumption of Tibet-China dialogue and return of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama to Tibet. I will tell you the third one, but before that, as we witnessed today, the speakers from Federation for Democracy of China and the Assembly of Citizens, and the next speaker who's representing Tibetan community. So based on, if we look at that, now the younger generation is taking over. So which means until the truth will prevail, our struggle will remain. So therefore, I would like to invite my next speaker, who's from our Tibetan community, who is a new political coordinator, Namge Omala. Oh, she's gonna speak on the third topic, which is called Hasa protest. Thank you.
Thank you, Salam Langala. Just to everyone. So we shall never forget what happened in Lhasa in 1987. On September 21st, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama introduced 5-point peace plan for Tibet, which was completely condemned by the Chinese government. Because of that, from Lhasa's Depung Monastery, peaceful monks came onto the streets of Lhasa with Tibetan flags to tell the Chinese government, Chinese Communist government, that they do not agree with their decision or whatever you may call. And with that followed more demonstration on the street, especially on October 1st, On this day in Tibet plazas, monks and lay Tibetan people came on the street to show the Chinese government that we are not happy with their decision and that we're not happy with their cruel brutality in Tibet. That has been going for many, many years, and we are not going to tolerate that anymore. With that, the Chinese Communist government decided to arrest many monks and lay people. Along with that came deaths of Tibetans. Keeping that in mind, things like this is ongoing in Tibet. As Sonam Langkala, our president, has shared, we share the same sentiment with all of you who are being oppressed on a daily basis. As we stand here in this free country, in China, and under the Chinese Communist regime, people are dying, people are suffering, and they can't do much about it, because ultimately, if they did something, that would mean death for themselves and their family. So what we are doing today, coming together and speaking against this devil, it's an approach that we must continue until we have our freedom back for all these countries who are currently suffering under Chinese regime. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the next guest speaker we have is from the Vietnamese community. As their country is currently under China's intimidation and threats of occupation, we would like to thank them for joining us in our fight against the Chinese brutality and this regime that is against humanity.
Play the song now? You want to play the song now? You want to play the song? Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here with you. On behalf of the Vietnamese community, I just have a few words for us today. Today, I wish to address the pressing concern surrounding the actions and policy of the Chinese Communist Party and their far-reaching consequences for our world. In particular, I would like to draw your attention to three key issues of utmost importance. Number one, human rights abuses. The CPP treatment of Uyghurs and other minorities groups in Xinjiang is deeply alarming. We have witnessed reports of forced labor, mass detention, cultural suppression, and the systematic denial of basic human rights. It is our moral duty to demand transparency, rigorous, independent investigation, and accountability for these disturbing actions. Number two, territorial disputes. The CCP assertive territorial claims, including their recent attempts to annex the Paracels Islands in Vietnam, pose a significant threat to regional. Such action disregard international norms and endanger peaceful coexistence among nations. To address this, we must champion peaceful dialogue, uphold international law, and respect the sovereignty of all nations involved. Number three, global influence and censorship. The CCP growing influence beyond its borders through tactics such as economic and attempts to control narratives, present a challenge to the principle of international cooperation and free expression. We must remain vigilant in safeguarding our own nation's sovereignty, values, and the unrestricted exchange of ideas. Censorship, especially through mechanisms like the Great Firewall of China, must not undermine our core values of open societies and the free flow of information. As responsible global citizens, we are called upon to act. We must united defend our democracy, human rights, and international law. Let us foster constructive dialogue with China, advocating for respect, sovereignty, peaceful resolution, and fair trade. Thank you so much. Okay, before I would like to say some slogan for us. Okay, so we do 3 times, all right? Red China, get out of Vietnam now. Red China, get out of Vietnam now. One more time. Red China, get out of Vietnam now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to listen to no matter what. All right. Okay. China out of Tibet now. 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 All right, thank you guys. So I'm going to invite the team of Peace Relay Marathon for Tibet. This year will be the 4th year. And they started in 2020 when the COVID was in high. When everyone was kind of scared to go out, these young guys were the ones who did a marathon in 2020, the first marathon. You want to talk in English?
I will be translating what Sunny just said into Chinese. 所以 Sunny 刚才向我们介绍了一个由藏人社区发起的活动，叫 Peaceful Marathon for Tibet， 就是他们会从多伦多开始，以马拉松这种形式，一路上带着西藏的旗帜来为西藏的自由与独立去呼吁，然后让我们为他们加油。他们已经是第4年从事这项活动了，所以我们希望他们成功，希望他们加油。谢谢 ，Thank you.
And the marathon they're not doing only for Tibet. They're doing for East Turkestan. They're doing for Hong Kong. They're doing for the Chinese who's asking for freedom and democracy from the communists. And so this is something that I feel, and we all should feel, that we have to be proud of, right? The reason why I'm saying, I've been saying this so many times. When we get vacation from our work, what we think of? We think of going to Cuba. We think of going somewhere like, nice place. But these 6 guys are the ones who are spending their vacation trying to promote what's happening in China against the Tibetan, against the Uyghur, against the Vietnamese, against the Hong Kong.
So our next speaker is translate.
It's all right. So I'm gonna call Pema Kunga. He's the one who started Peaceful Marathon in 2020. Pema Kungala. So kata is gonna offer by Senator and CTO President. Okay, and Pamela is the You know. Okay. Yeah, 제가 시간도. 그렇소. 아니, 단다 셰듈라 페르나다. sabse 페르나라 모르시. Kendi 셰듈라. 아니, 디실라, 페스타. Every year they've been doing this. This is not the first time they're doing it. Di실라. Kunsala peda. Pau, depecho. Kunsala da Candela. So these 6 guys they're gonna start this year. They're gonna start the marathon from Ottawa to Toronto, coming back. Last year, I'm pretty sure you guys remember, we started from here.
所以今年跑马拉松的6位义士，他们会从渥太华起跑到多伦多，然后再返回渥太华。然后Sunny想对大家说，就是他们的这个马拉松活动不仅仅是为了西藏的自由和独立，他们是为了我们所有人，为了我们想要的那个更美好的世界，为了我们想要的自由与民主。谢谢。
All right, thank you guys. 아니 미마 number 도 추아도 데 카타 유아이 나라. 코란도 피기 술라 펜낭기레. 단도 데 사르랑가 테스 칼레 호체기도. 아니 님라 코란도 피실레 마라톤 파키나다. 피기 술들라. 됐어. 본다. Okay. So from Peaceful Marathon, Pema Kungala share that. You want to come? Okay,
아니 참말로라네 선택될 실에 내가 나랑 좀 미만 먹고 싶어서 인타관에 뒤지는 쉬어이 나랑 쪽에다 레비 쉬어 경주대 안에 알로 안에 도 시와도 차도래 아니 지단에 나랑 쪽에 미리지여라 원데 마저 봐도 나랑 쪽에다 레비도 무튼에도 도대 나랑 쪽에 안에 간다 레비가 지니 더 소디 안에 단다 캐나다 슝다 캐나다 미망 디마세 아니 잠이 용도라 아니 나랑도 베게 아니 내땅 다다 강에 가려 와 어디라 아니 고도 개치도 아니 어두세 아니 고도에 대 나랑도 진짜 주바 세니 아니 계사 오토와네 또 오토와 아니 겸이 슝담도 또 고도체 아니 진짜 주바 세 군이 모델 아니 나랑도 돼 계속 통도 아니 겸이 슝담 이거지 아니 나도 탐사해 아니 나랑도 기타 단다 되게 아니 리그 되게 아니 다 근데 나랑도 이주도 나랑도 땅이 망보지요 어래 이내 다 원디 보니 아니 나도 또 근데 숨직도 샤예 아니 당고들라 아니 근데 당고들 가리라나 단다 다 여자랑 나랑도 아니 별라이나 아니 롭도 돌아 아니 그러도 야마기 걸어 말합치지 아니 군도에나 또 가서 파마냐 뭐 카데 되네 아니 가서 파게 버링 로발라 샤데 어디랑 가라도 타치도 안 가도 뭐왜 라네 원도 자마충가 가도 어디 아니 근데 니와디나 아니 가도 아니 왠지 군대 죽지 봐 보다 아니 되게 잡지 좀봐 용서 아니 로드 당고 열라니 어디 아니 근데 아니 숨바디 아니 내가 롱메 라서 제발 잡죠 난 거열라니 언제 가도 아니 또 근데 숨대 어디 샤예 아니 담아들라다 아니 나랑도 아니 잠그려 뭐지 그때 틀로 된 바다 아니 너랑도 요도 도와기 mellam예 아니 단다 가랑도 아니 내 레교딜라 아니 냠추 가다 아니 나랑도 잡존낭이 아니 포과 독지 항말 아니 님 탁관에 두지 낭라이 줘야 아니 망보이나 아니 달로지고지 말해지 님만 로디네 아니 다 포과도 나가라 아니 뭐 뒤져 가랑도 로고 낭래래 아니 망보이나 아니 온도 상도 나라인 좀 있어요 Pegalo! Preach back! Preach back! Preach back! Free Ugo! Free Ugo! Free Ugo! Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Free Southern Mongolia! Free Southern Mongolia! Free Southern Mongolia! Pegalo! Oh, Tujina. Okay, so in Sidula. Long live! Long live! Long live! Petition was going to say in English. Petition. Firstly, everyone. So I want to say a few words on behalf of my team. So please give me a few minutes. Tomorrow from Ottawa, we are starting the 4th Peace Rally Marathon for Tibet. So first I want to introduce my team, Prima Kunga, Halden Wangchuk, Usang Dechen, and Dechen Wangdin. And down over here in Ottawa, and myself, Benji Sheduk. Last year we covered 1,300 kilometers from Toronto to Montreal via Ottawa and back to Toronto. But this time, unfortunately, we are very limited leave. But still, we are trying to cover the 400 kilometers in this short period. If you see our banner and the flyer, we have 3 major demands to the Canadian government and to the international community. The first, shut down the forced Chinese boarding school in Tibet. Second, the call of immediate and unconditional release of 11 Panchen Lama and other political prisoners. And the third, support to the resumption of the Sino-Tibet dialogue and returns of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama to Tibet.